welcome everybody to season 2, episode 27 of Hexproof from Ward. We've got some fun cooked up for you. Tonight we don't have Sam. Sam was called and told that he has to be at work at 2 a.m. tomorrow, so he is not
That is
with us recording at
crazy.
8 o'clock at night on a Tuesday. So this comes out on a Thursday at noon, like every week. But Sam will not be joining us this week. This week, we're going to try and start something new, a new little series, kind of a mini series, kind of just a fun little thing. But first, what's everybody been up to?
Oh,
He's
uh,
testing.
I went up to Michigan, visited some friends there, played a bunch of couch co-op games we grew up on. Lots of Super Smash Bros, lots of Geometry Wars, and various other games that just played a bunch of video games. Yeah, it was a
What's
good time.
Geometry Wars?
It's a it kind of it's Galactica-esque, but it's pretty much like you're a neon spaceship and you drive through shapes and you
It's
get points.
Okay.
Yeah.
it's a twin stick shooter. So with the controller, one stick just moves around, second stick it like aims your gun and you just
Hmm.
run around and try to kill all the enemies on the screen.
Nice. That's
It's
awesome.
pretty fun. Has cool
That sounds
like
like fun.
techno music and stuff.
What
Yeah.
have you been up to, Keith?
Um this week. Oh, I have a fun story. The other day I had all my like bag packed up and I was gonna go do some Gunpla stuff at the card store. And
Hmm.
then I went to Taco Bell because I had a free Supreme taco.
Ooh.
Anyway, I was trying to eat it in my car and I grabbed it and it wasn't wrapped properly and I just dropped it all on my lap and I had like sour cream and like
Oh
beef
no.
everywhere.
Nice. It says my internet connection is unstable, so I don't can't really fix that. So it is what it is. Yay. Xfinity.
Oh,
Yeah, Josh.
I also finished The Hobbit.
Nice.
Yeah,
Ooh.
so now
Like the
it
book or the three movies?
the book. I
Awesome.
was inspired by Magic the Gathering to go read a book that's been out for almost 100 years. So it
No.
That's awesome. Yeah, Keith.
yes.
Yeah, when I read it in like high school or whatever, you used to take the accelerated reader like test on it, but I had to take the test and I didn't get to finish the book, so I didn't know there was like a big battle at the end.
Oh no.
And I didn't even know that in the movie. When the movie came out, I'm like, "What is this? What is happening?"
Yeah. Those
Oh
were
my
fun
god.
movies to go see.
They were.
Uh
They're pretty good.
Uh, Eli and I went to Live Golf. We got some free tickets, and Eli got to meet some of the golfers. Um, and watch some golf. He was real confused. He thought he was going to get to play golf.
Uh,
And so he was a little bummed about that. But a lot of the golfers, he was bummed out and kind of pouting. And the golfers like came by and were like patting him on the back, and they're like, "It's okay, man. Like it's all right." And they're like, "I have a son. I know how it is." And it was kind of cool. And he got some autographs and things like that. And then we went to the last Colts uh, practice, the like training camp, the last ever one at Grand Park. But Eli got picked to be in a dance contest. So
Uh-huh.
him and his partner got paired up and they had a dance off against two Colts cheerleader dads. And
What?
they beat them. So that was pretty cool. Eli
nice.
kicked some
And they
butt.
gave you free season
That
tickets.
would be sweet. But Eli got a really cool blue, the mascot, giant chain that's got blue on it. Maybe he'll bring it over here in a little bit. He's eating some chicken
Okay.
noodle soup at the moment. Oh, he's gonna get it here in a second. So After that, we're going to go into reality fracture teasers. So, Josh, what do you have in mind for these teasers?
So, what was spoiled, we got some good information. We had some mechanics spoiled, um, but essentially, what I wanted to focus on was a section where we had some names dropped, some card
Okay.
names dropped,
Ooh.
and I developed and I've speculated on the first five card names dropped.
Okay.
And we have the Curse Marred Demon. So this can go in two directions. The one I wanted to go in is for a tweak on Sunblast Angel, and
Okay.
where Sunblast Angel enters and destroys all tapped creatures. I want Cursed Mar Demon to enter and destroy all untapped creatures, and
Huh.
I want him to be mono red. I feel like that is something that I think mono red needs its own identity. Again, I think it needs some more factors. I think punishing untapped creatures, creatures that aren't going into combat, I think that's something that they could explore. Yes, Keith.
That's pretty cool idea. They've kind of backed themselves into a corner. You know how like every color can do everything right now. So I would definitely like to see some more of that too. I mean, the opposite direction, more identity.
Yeah, so then the next one is Loyal Tutor, which I think is going to be a play on Cruel Tutor. So that Fire Lord's fat face will not be on this one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
And
man.
but it'll be a Loyal Tutor. I think it'll be two and a white. And then you'll search your library for a card, put it on top, and gain two life.
Okay.
But it'll be in white, or it might be a legendary card. They might limit it to legendary. Since it's loyal, you might be looking for a specific thing.
Right.
Then there's Lyra Tolarian Angel, where the previous
Not
one.
yet, Eli. Not yet.
Mhm.
Sorry, keep going.
Yep, you're good. Where the previous one was a mono white creature, so three and two white for angel with flying, first strike, lifelink, and other angels you control get plus one, have lifelink. I think this is going to be three blue blue, have flying, vigilance, and ward two. And I think you'll have other angels get plus one, and whenever they deal combat damage to a player, you draw a card.
Okay. All right.
That's okay.
I like that.
Yeah. And then we have Omnipresence, which I think is going to be a rip on Omniscience,
Right.
where
Yeah.
Omniscience is seven blue blue. You may cast spells from your hand without paying their mana cost. I think this is going to be seven and three greens. And I think this is going to be you can put any number of permanent cards from your hand onto the battlefield.
Yeah, I could see
Ooh.
that or any number of lands onto the battlefield.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so so I'm thinking
No,
that's so you're not casting it, you're just putting it into play and you get
please
around
stop.
counters and all sorts
Please
of fun
stop.
things. And for seven green, it's pretty much a
Walk
game
away.
ending effect.
Go away.
And then lastly, there's a really fun one, which is the uh, Rescue Girl First Responder. So uh, I think this is going to be a play, believe it or not, a Massacre Girl,
Yep.
known killer.
Right.
So
Yep.
where a mass,
Oh,
yeah,
that's a good
yeah,
one. Okay. I
yes.
was thinking of Rescue Beastie.
Yeah, so I could see, you know, but I was thinking where like Massacre Girl, known killer is has entered. It's two and two black and has menace and creatures you control have wither, and then whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, if its toughness was less than one, you draw a card. I think this is going to be two white creatures you control gain undying. It'll have
Yeah.
flash.
Ooh.
And
Yep.
then whenever a creature you control with base power one enters the battlefield from your graveyard, you draw a card.
You might be pretty close on that one. I like this one. That's
Yep.
Yes.
cool.
So those are my calls I'm making from out here. We can save these clips and see how close I am whenever it actually reveals.
I
But
think I think
Yeah.
Seasoned Cryomancer is going to be a play on Young Pyromancer. So it'll be blue instead of red.
Oh, for sure. Then,
Oh,
oh yeah. So
yeah.
then, whenever you like cast something, you get a maybe like a blue elemental, like
Hmm.
from similar to like what Hilda makes.
Yeah, because Young Pyromancer says whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, create a 1/1 red elemental creature token. So Seasoned Cryomancer is going to be, you know, cast an instant or sorcery spell, create probably something bigger than that, or be able to, since it's a cryomancer, be able to like freeze certain creatures or something like,
Yeah,
something like that.
I think you're onto it with it being bigger. I think they're going to maybe lean into the ice elementals that
Hmm.
Hilda makes. So makes things that makes more for four elementals. So he might
Right,
cost more, but then you get a bigger payoff for dropping stuff.
right.
And
And the,
then oh,
oh,
go ahead.
I was gonna say something really cute is Tomek. Is it Spark Mage? So Tomek gets his husband's colors, and it'll be cool to see that design in
Oh,
Space
yeah.
Explored. So that's very cute.
Yeah. I just looked up Atomic and there's one from Murders at Karlov Manor and it came back in Secrets of Strixhaven Commander and he's black white generally.
Nice.
So moving to is it? And then a
All right.
Yoshimaru, except he's
Uh, he's a scrappy little something or rather. Uh,
yeah, implying no owner.
Yeah, he
yeah,
has
so
no owner, so it's kind
No,
of
still
kind of
what
weird.
happened?
That's
What
a hard one to
happened?
change, in my opinion.
a scrappy stray. I think like maybe whenever he attacks alone, he gets plus one or something like that. Maybe make him like
Yeah, that would make sense. Just kind of buff him up
Hmm.
and make him have some fun. All right. So we did Reality Fracture. Um, for these next couple of weeks, I had an idea. Sounds silly, but we've been pretty vehicle heavy in a couple sets like Aether Drift, things like that. So I thought, why don't we try and come up with a plane ran by the monster truck theme? So in these next couple of weeks, we're going to build decks themed around certain monster trucks. Eli's favorite monster truck is Gravedigger, so I'm going to do Gravedigger this week. And then we've got a couple more set up. So Josh has Maximum Destruction, which is a really cool truck. Now it's called Max D, I think, but the D stands for destruction.
What?
Yeah, so
Okay.
do with that what you will, Josh.
Yeah.
Keith has Monster Mutt. So Keith, you can do animal theme, you can do whatever you want. I'm not going to tell anybody to do anything.
Yes.
And then Sam, of course, has Megalodon. Just because he's really big into merfolk. That was gross. I'm sorry.
And
Um,
Shax.
yeah.
I, I
And
smelled that
sharks
burp
maybe.
through the mic.
Yeah, I'm so
Ooh.
sorry. Made
That's
Stink lines.
homemade chicken noodle soup and used some vegetables from the garden, and I think the jalapenos that came from the garden might have got me a little bit there. So I've built Gravedigger. So here we go. You guys ready?
yeah.
Yes.
All right. So the name of the deck is Gravedigger.
Ooh.
Um, we've got some +1/+1 counters, casual, dredge, mill, reanimator, sultai, webcam friendly. It says Gravedigger. When you dig my grave, can you make it shallow so that I can feel the rain? That's from Dave Matthews Band's song Gravedigger. Uh, so Moldrotha the Gravetide for 3 black, green, blue. Legendary creature elemental avatar. During each of your turns, you may play a land and cast a permanent spell of each permanent type from your graveyard. If a card has multiple permanent types, choose one as you play it. Muldrotha is a 6/6. And then we've got a couple of planeswalkers. Gris the Hunger Tide for 1, a black and a green. Is a planeswalker that starts with loyalty counter 3. As long as Gris the Hunger Tide isn't on the battlefield, it's a 1/1 insect creature in addition to its other types. The +1 is create a 1/1 black and green insect creature token, then mill a card. If an insect was milled this way, put a loyalty counter on Grist and repeat the process. -2 is you may sacrifice a creature. When you do, destroy target creature or planeswalker. -5, each opponent loses life equal to the number of creatures in your graveyard. Tameo, Collector of Tales, for 2, a green and a blue, starts at 5. Spells and abilities your opponents control can't cause you to discard or sacrifice permanents. +1, choose a non-land card name, then reveal the top 4 cards of your library. Put all cards with the chosen name from among them into your hand and the rest into your graveyard. -3, return target card from your graveyard to your hand. So that's a fun way of saying just name something you don't have and then
Yeah,
just mill
yeah.
4 cards. We've got 31 creatures, so Birds of Paradise for a green is a 0/1 bird with flying. Tap it to add 1 mana of any color. Hedron Crab is 1 blue, 0/2 crab with landfall. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, target player puts the top 3 cards of his or her library into his or her graveyard. Spore Frog for a green is a 1/1 frog. Sacrifice Spore Frog, prevent all combat damage that would be dealt this turn. Stitcher Supplier, 1 black, is a 1/1 zombie. When this creature enters or dies, mill 3 cards. Accursed Marauder for 1 and a black is a 2/1 zombie warrior. When Accursed Marauder enters the battlefield, each player sacrifices a non-creature token. Aftermath Analyst for 1 and a green is a 1/3 elf detective. When this creature enters, mill 3 cards. And then you can pay 3 and a green, sacrifice this creature, return all land cards from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. So that's a fun little card. Bilbo, Thief in the Night, for 1 and a blue is a 2/2 halfling rogue. Spells you cast from anywhere other than your hand cost 1 less to cast. Whenever Bilbo attacks, you may cast an instant, artifact, or sorcery spell from your graveyard. If an instant or sorcery spell cast this way would be put into your graveyard, exile it instead. Dalthy Void Walker, 2 black, 3/2 Dalthy Rogue, has Shadow. This creature can block or be blocked by only creatures with Shadow. If a card would be put into an opponent's graveyard from anywhere, instead exile it with a void counter on it. Tap it, sacrifice Dalthy, choose an exiled card an opponent owns with a void counter on it. You may play the card this turn without paying its mana cost. Doc Arlock, Grizzled Genius, for a green and a blue is a 2/3 Bear Druid. Spells you cast from your graveyard or from exile cost 2 less to cast. Plotting cards from your hand cost 2 less to cast. Sakura Tribe Elder for 1 and a green is a 1/1 Snake Shaman. Sacrifice this card, search your library for a basic land card, put that card onto the battlefield, tap, then shuffle. Braids, Arisen Nightmare, 1 and 2 black is a 3/3 Nightmare. At the beginning of your end step, you may sacrifice an artifact, creature, enchantment, land, or planeswalker. If you do, each opponent may sacrifice a permanent that shares a card type with it. For each opponent who doesn't, that player loses 2 life and you draw a card. 1 second, guys. What? Okay, then go put it on and come back. Ooh. Emeritus of Abundance for 2 and a green is a 3/4 elf druid with vigilance. This creature enters prepared. Whenever this creature attacks, if you control 8 or more lands, this creature becomes prepared. It has regrowth staple to it for 1 and a green. It's a sorcery that says return target card from your graveyard to your hand. Eternal Witness for 1 and 2 green is a 2/1 human shaman. When Eternal Witness enters the battlefield, you may return target card from your graveyard to your hand. Gale, Waterdeep Prodigy for 2 and a blue is a 1/3 human wizard. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell from your hand, you may cast up to 1 target card of the other type from your graveyard. If a spell cast from your graveyard this way would be put into your graveyard, exile it instead. You can choose a background. Gloom Shrieker for 1, a black and a green is a 2/1 cat beast with menace. When Gloom Shrieker enters the battlefield, return target permanent card from your graveyard to your hand. If Gloom Shrieker would die, exile it instead. Plague Crafter for 2 and a black, 3/2 human shaman. When Plague Crafter enters, each opponent sacrifices a creature or planeswalker. Each player who can't discards a card. The Master of Lake Town for 1 and 2 black is a 3/2 human advisor with death touch. Whenever a player loses life, that player mills that many cards. When the Master of Lake Town dies, draw a card for each graveyard with 7 or more cards in it. Grave Digger. For 3 and a black is a 2/2 zombie. When Gravedigger comes into play, you may return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. Gerard, Golgari Lichlord. 2 black, 2 green is a 2/2 zombie elf. Gerard, Gets +1/+1 for each creature card in your graveyard. You could pay one, a black and a green, sacrifice another creature. Each opponent loses life equal to the sacrificed creature's power. Sacrifice a swamp and a forest. Return Gerard from your graveyard to your hand. Marin of Clan Nel Toth for two, a black and a green. Is a 3/4 human shaman that says whenever another creature you control dies, you get an experience counter at the beginning of your end step. Choose target creature card from your graveyard. If that card's mana value is less than or equal to the number of experience counters you have, return it to the battlefield. Otherwise, put it into your hand. And look at this, guys.
Oh,
Eli,
yo,
sit
that's
down.
a full fit. That's not
Yeah.
Let's
what.
go.
That's sick.
Yeah. We've got the
Wow.
driver of Gravedigger here, guys. Uh, And he can hear. I got a little adapter to where we can have two sets
Wow. What's
of
up?
headphones attached to the microphone. So
What up,
uh,
boy?
we've got Sidisi Brood Tyrant for one, a black, a green, and a blue. 3/3 Naga Shaman. Whenever Sidisi Brood Tyrant enters the battlefield or attacks, mill three cards. Whenever one or more creature cards are put into your graveyard from the library, create a 2/2 black zombie creature token. We've got Taval, the balanced scale for one, a black, a green, and a blue. It's a 4/4 spirit dragon with flying. When it attacks, mill three cards. Then you may return a land card from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. Whenever one or more cards leave your graveyard, create a 2/2 black zombie druid creature token. World Shaper for three and a green is a 3/3 Merfolk Shaman. Whenever World Shaper attacks, you may put the top three cards of your library into your graveyard. When World Shaper dies, put all land cards from your graveyard onto the battlefield tapped. Anchor the Traveler for four and a black is a 4/4 Necron with Lord of the Firian Legions. Whenever Anchor the Traveler attacks, please stop. Please stop. Okay, you need to go. Thank you for coming. You need to go. Uh, Whenever Anchor the Traveler attacks, you may cast an artifact spell from your hand or graveyard by paying life equal to its mana cost rather than paying its mana cost. Equal to its mana value rather than paying its mana cost. I don't know. That's kind of confusing. Lear, Disciple of the Drowned for 3 and 2 blue is a 3/4 human wizard. Spells can't be countered. Each instant or sorcery card in your graveyard has flashback. The flashback cost is equal to the card's mana cost. Lord of Extinction for 3, a black and a green. This creature's power and toughness are equal to the number of cards in all graveyards. Lotus Light Dancers for 2, a black, a green, and a blue is a 3/6 zombie bard with lifelink. When this creature enters, search your library for a black card, a green card, and a blue card. Put those cards into your graveyard, then shuffle. Necrogoyf for 3 and 2 black is a star for Lurgoyf. Its power is equal to the number of creature cards in all graveyards. At the beginning of each player's upkeep, that player discards a card, has a madness cost of 1 and 2 black. So if you discard this card, discard it into exile. When you do, cast it for its madness cost or put it into your graveyard. Sir Conrad the Grim for 2 or 3 and 2 black. 5/4 human knight. Whenever another creature dies or a creature card is put into your graveyard from anywhere other than the battlefield, or a creature leaves the graveyard, Sir Conrad the Grim deals 1 damage to each opponent. You can pay 1 and a black. Each player mills a card. The Gitrog monster for 3, a black and a green, is a 6/6 frog horror with death touch. At the beginning of your upkeep, sacrifice the Gitrog monster unless you sacrifice a land. You may play an additional land on each of your turns whenever one or more land cards are put into your graveyard from anywhere you draw a card. Grave Titan for 4 and 2 black is a 6/6 giant with death touch. When this creature enters or attacks, create 2/2 black zombie creature tokens. So you've got some graveyard play. You've got some big butts that you can play after making people's graveyards huge. Just a lot of fun creatures that I like. Yeah, Josh.
Yeah, I think you got a good mix here. A lot of new creatures mixed with old creatures. Gotta love Doc Arlock when you're casting things from
Oh yeah.
this, that, and the other. I like Lear, Disciple of the Drowned too. That'll be a fun way to get more value off of our instants and sorceries that
Hmm.
and Yeah, I think we got a good mix here. It's again like new cards. You have uh, at least two cards from The Hobbit representing one
Yeah.
of the Mythic Bilbo and the Master of Lake Town.
Yep.
Uh,
Yeah, I this is a newer one that I kind of really like for this deck too, the Lotus Light Dancers, just being able to take
Oh,
three cards, one from each color of the deck and throw them in the graveyard, and then you can get them right back out. That's a pretty cool like brand new card. Um and then the Lord of Extinction and the
that is
Necroglyph are
nice.
two ways to kind of close out the game. If you can make some big graveyards, and it's kind of nice to be able to play off of everyone's graveyard instead of just making sure your graveyard is full. You get to kind of uh, mess with everybody. So, you guys ready to move on to sorceries?
oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. We've got 10 of them. So, reanimate for a black. Put target creature card from a graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. You lose life equal to its mana value. Ghost form for one and a blue. Up to two target creatures are unblockable this turn. Life from the Loam, one and a green. Return up to three target land cards from your graveyard to your hand. Dredge three. So if you would draw a card instead, you may put exactly three cards from the top of your library into your graveyard. If you do, return this card from your graveyard to your hand. Otherwise, draw a card. Malevolent Rumble. For one and a green is a sorcery that says reveal the top four cards of your library. You may put a permanent card from among them into your hand, put the rest into your graveyard. Create a 0/1 colorless Eldrazi spawn creature token with sacrifice this creature, add one colorless. Unmarked Grave for one and a black says search your library for a non legendary card, put that card into your graveyard, and then shuffle. Winding Way for one and a green. Choose creature or land. Reveal the top four cards of your library. Put all cards of the chosen type revealed this way into your hand and the rest into your graveyard. Cultivate, and this is my favorite art of Cultivate. For two and a green, search your library for up to two basic land cards. Reveal those cards. Put one onto the battlefield tapped and the other into your hand. Then shuffle. Yeah, Josh.
Oh,
It's no lesbian cultivate, but it is very nice.
Yes. I just like the singing corn and tomatoes.
the
Yes.
hand.
Windfall for two and a blue. Each player discards his or her hand, then draws a card equal to the greatest number of cards a player discarded this way. Escape Containment, Incarnation Technique for four and a black. Has Demonstrate and then mill five cards, then return a creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Rise of the Dark Realms for seven and two black. Put all creature cards from all graveyards onto the battlefield under your control. So those are our sorceries. What do you guys think? Decent?
Yeah, I think pretty solid. I couldn't help but notice that you have the some redundancies with like reanimate and things like that, just in case something happens with Muldrotha, you have other options.
Oh, yeah.
Carrying
You
Yeah,
missed part of that.
it's okay. I think Indiana's going through some stuff, so that's probably why internet sucks right now. So instance, we've got five. So the first one is Entomb for a black. Search your library for a card, put that card in your graveyard, then shuffle. Fog for a green, prevent all combat damage that would be dealt this turn. Assassin's Trophy for a black and a green, destroy target permanent and opponent controls. Its controller may search the library for a basic land card, put it on the battlefield, then shuffle. Cash Grab for a one and a green. It's an instant that says mill four cards. You may put a permanent card from among the cards milled this way into your hand. If you control a squirrel or return a squirrel card to your hand this way, create a food token. So we don't have any squirrels. Grizzly Salvage for a black and a green. Reveal the top five cards of your library. You may put a creature card from among them into your hand. Put the rest into your graveyard. Those are our instants. Nothing too crazy there. Artifacts. Yeah, Josh.
just going back to the instance, and
Yeah.
then so like a card I did want to shout out. I know like we'll have an opportunity to jump in on some later.
Mhm.
For anyone who doesn't want to drop a lot of money on an Entomb, which
Yeah.
is sitting around like $16 or so,
Yeah.
I would recommend Lively Dirge as a budget option.
Hmm.
It's sorcery speed, but it's one in a black and it has spree. For one, you can search your library for a card and put it into the graveyard, then shuffle. And then for Two, you can return up to two creature cards with total mana value four or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. So it would be a good way to kind of touch on a couple components of this deck, some redundancy in the animation, and also throwing it into the graveyard, and it's going to save your budget a little bit.
Yeah, there you go. All right. I switched it out.
Oh, cool.
Artifacts. Altar of Dementia for two. A sacrifice a creature. Target player puts a number of cards equal to the sacrificed creature's power from the top of their library into their graveyard. So that would be a fun way if you've got your big creatures to be huge off of how big the graveyards are. Make the graveyards even bigger. Lightning Greaves for two. Equip creature has haste and shroud. You can equip it for zero. Mesmeric Orb for two. Whenever a permanent becomes untapped, that permanent's controller mills a card. Crucible of Worlds for three. You may play lands from your graveyard. Bone Horde for four. Living Weapon. When this equipment enters the battlefield, create a 0/0 black germ creature token, then attach it to this. Equipped creature gets +X/+X, where X is the number of creature cards in all graveyards. Equip it for two. Nevinral's Disc for four. This is one of my favorite cards in all of Magic. It doesn't get played very much because it's not like the greatest thing, but I think it's funny. It's one of those funny cards that you can play every once in a while. Nevinral's Disc enters the battlefield tapped. Then you can pay one, tap it, destroy all artifacts, creatures, and enchantments. So, what do you guys think?
Looks good. I do like. I do think every deck needs a panic button, so the disc is a fun one because for you and how you have your deck constructed, it but is a one-time thing in a lot of decks is a repeatable board wipe in yours.
Right.
Yeah, got a
Yeah.
bit of a toolbox thing going on. We can pretty much get anything back, really.
Yeah. That's what makes this deck fun and playing in your graveyard fun. Enchantments. We've got 9 of them. The first one, Elephant Grass. Cumulative upkeep of 1, so it's probably not going to last for very long. Black creatures cannot attack you. Non-black creatures cannot attack you unless their controller pays an additional 2 for each attacking creature. Kaya's Ghost Form for 1 black. Enchant creature or planeswalker you control. When enchanted permanent dies or is put into exile, return that card to the battlefield under your control. Tortured Existence for a black says pay a black, choose and discard a creature card. Return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. Animate Dead for 1 and a black. This has a lot of text to it, so here we go. Enchant creature card in a graveyard. When Animate Dead enters the battlefield, if it's on the battlefield, it loses enchant creature card in the graveyard and gains enchant creature. Put it onto the battlefield with Animate Dead. Return enchanted creature card to the battlefield under your control and attach Animate Dead to it. When Animate Dead leaves the battlefield, the creature's controller sacrifices it. Enchanted creature gets -1/-0. Ripples of Undeath for 1 and a black. At the beginning of your pre-combat main phase, mill 3 cards. Then you may pay 1 and 3 life. If you do, put a card from among those into your hand. Propaganda for 2 and a blue as an enchantment that says creatures can't attack you unless their controller pays 2 for each creature they control that's attacking you. Secrets of the Dead for 2 and a blue. Whenever you cast a spell from your graveyard, you draw a card. Taval's Judgment for 2 and a black. Whenever 1 or more cards leave your graveyard, choose one that hasn't been chosen this turn. You can draw a card, create a treasure token, or create a 2/2 black zombie druid creature token. Grave Pact for 1 and 3 black is an enchantment that says whenever a creature you control is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, each other player sacrifices a creature. What do you guys think of the enchantments?
I think they're potent. I really like the low to the ground ones. I think the
Mm-hmm.
elephant grass is pretty tricky in this deck where you just
That's
don't pay
cool.
the cumulative upkeep and you play it again, so it's never
Yeah.
it's not a drawback for it. Also, Kaya's Ghost Form is a really great uh piece of protection in this deck because it's one of the better protections for exile or anything for cards that you have. And then also once you've extended it or exhausted it, it's not exhausted. You can just pull it right back. I
Right.
like Tortured Existence. I was thinking that it might be good to have ways to get reanimation targets from your hand into the graveyard. So I'm glad we were on this. You're kind of already ahead of me with that. So
Hmm.
yeah, I like where it's going. Also, Grave Pact is disgusting, and you should feel bad.
Yeah. It's an expensive card, and it's one of the like
Ooh, it
creepiest
is.
arts in all of Magic, in my opinion. It's
That
just
the
so
artist's
creepy.
name is Puddinhead.
Puddinhead. Yeah. It's like what is it? Pig Hands is another fun little artist from Magic, I think is the name. But anyway, so 36 lands. We've got Command Tower, tap it to add one color in your commander's color. Exotic Orchard, so tap it to add one mana of any color of a land that an opponent's lands would create. Nine forests, nine islands, Morphic Pool. It enters tapped unless you have two or more opponents. Tap it to add a blue or a black. Rejuvenating Springs is the same thing, except it taps for a green or a blue. Rogue's Passage. So I wanted this in here in case we get like those big butts and they can just kind of swing in and take somebody out right away. So you tap it to add a colorless, or you can pay for tap it. Target creature can't be blocked this turn. 10 Swamps, Titan's Grave. This land enters tap. Tap it to add a black or green. Pay two, a black and a green. Tap it, surveil one. Look at the top card of your library. You may put it into your graveyard if you'd like. Undergrowth Stadium is just like Morphic Pool and Rejuvenating Springs, except it taps for a black or green. And then the Zagoth Triome taps for black, green, or blue. It enters tapped and it has cycling three. So I don't really like lands that enter tapped unless you really get something off of them. So you're not going to see a ton of those in decks that I build. Yes, Josh.
Yeah, the only ones I might make a case for in this deck in particular that do enter tapped would be the Surveil lands.
Hmm.
Just because they can help set up the graveyard as well. They'd also bring up your budget about $60. So, but
Right.
but
Yeah.
that being said, like I don't. I am also someone who doesn't like my lands coming into play tapped, but you could make a case for those in this deck.
Yep. All right. So that's what we've got here. That's 100 cards. Are there any cards that you guys want to add to the considering? Yes, Josh.
I
Mm,
sure do. I know we
sure.
usually offer five, but Sam's not here, so I stole his five too. So no, I
Eh.
don't think I had quite that many, but one of my favorite is Snarling Gorehound.
Okay.
Yeah, so for he's a 1/1 for one swamp dog, little puppers. Uh has menace, and then whenever another creature with power two or less enters the battlefield under your control, you can surveil one. So there's a you have the you have Steve, you have Spore Frog, you
Yep.
have so there's like multiple things that you're already spamming into the graveyard. I don't know how strong the accursed marauder is. I think he's a 1/1, right?
2-1.
2/1. Yeah. So that'd still trigger.
Yeah.
Yeah. So multiple things that you're already spamming. You're also going to be surveilling and filling your graveyard with stuff. So I think that'd be a fun add.
Very nice.
Also, it's disgusting with Sidisi. Like
Yeah.
you
Yep.
have that in Sidisi, you go through your entire deck essentially.
Yeah.
Then there is also I feel like we need some robots and some machinery in here. So how about
Okay.
Cyclonus, the Saboteur? Gotta get Transformer up in here. Uh, this is a robot, two and Demir, uh, more than meets the eye for five and Demir, but as flying whenever it deals combat damage to a player, and it connives if its power is five or greater, then you convert it. So, yep, good way to. So conniving, then it converts into Cyclonus, Cybertronian fighter, living metal, flying. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, convert it. Then, if there are no additional beginning phase, wait, what?
If you convert it, there's an additional beginning phase after this phase.
Yeah, untap,
Ooh.
upkeep, and draw. So, okay, cool. So yeah, that's untap all your stuff, good, all sorts of good jazz. Then, yeah, then your mana is open again for instance and whatever else you wanted to recur.
Right.
Um, And similar vein, Smuggler Copter is going to do something similar. Uh,
Smuggler cop.
yeah, this is a vehicle. Uh,
Where did it
it's,
go?
uh,
There it is.
yeah, this is less of a grave digger and more of a grave filler, but uh, two, it has a vehicle for crew one, 3/3 flyer. Whenever it attacks or blocks, you may draw a card. If you do, discard a card. So it's a good way to kind of filter reanimation targets back to your graveyard.
Right.
Then there's uh, a few more vehicles I wanted to pitch. The subterranean schooner, which is what the coach called me in gym class.
Right.
Uh, uh, it is a 3/4 vehicle for one in a blue, and then whenever it attacks target creature that crewed it, explores. So again, look at the top card of your library. If it's land, throw it into your hand. If not, you put +1/+1 crown on a creature, and you either put it back or your graveyard. So again, a good way to fill the graveyard and kind of filter.
Very
And it's
nice.
a vehicle. And then there's the Indomitable. Uh, it's a for 2 and 2 blue, you get a vehicle which is a 6/6 with trample. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, you draw a card, and then you may cast the Indomitable from your graveyard for as long as you control three or more tapped pirates and or vehicles. So if we
Nice.
went more vehicle heavy, we could of course do that more.
Right.
Then stepping away from the I have three more. I have Kessing Cage Breakers. And this is for 5 mana total.
There it is.
Yeah. So 400 green, you give a human rogue.
Ooh,
Whenever
nice.
Kessie Cage Breakers attacks, you put 2/2 green wolf creature token onto the battlefield tapped and attacking for each creature card in your graveyard,
Yeah,
which
that's a
is
really good one.
that one is rad.
Yeah.
Then there is Marionette Apprentice. For one in a black, you get a human artificer with fabricate one. Whenever this creature enters the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on it, or make a 1/1 servo creature token. Whenever another creature or artifact you control is put into the graveyard from the battlefield, each opponent loses a life. So
Yikes.
yeah,
Yeah.
and then something I wanted to pitch because you have the Necrogoyf
Hmm.
is Night Howler.
From Zootopia.
Yeah.
Okay.
Of course.
uh, I'm sure someone's drawn art of this on the internet. But
Oh yeah.
anyway, the Night Howler's 1 and 2 black for a horror, not a wolf horror, just horror. Why would you think there's a wolf involved?
Right.
But it is a enchantment creature horror, so that means it can be a target for the enchantment part of Muldrotha if you want it to be. And whenever it has bestows for 2 and 2 black, so you can have it be an enchantment aura instead of a creature. And then Night Howler and enchanted creature each get +X/+X, where X is the number of creature cards in all graveyards. So yeah, it's kind of uh, a Lord of Extinction on an enchantment.
Right. Okay. I like it.
And then yep, that's it for me. Anything you think would doll up this deck a bit, Keith?
Yes, I've got a few.
He's like, no.
So,
All right.
first of all, I love that the commander is obviously super strong, but there's so much like synergy and going on that we don't necessarily need to cast it. We
Right.
can survive without it. Um, so with all the self mill and like filling up our graveyard, I would like to cheat in some lands along the way. So hedge shredder, 2 green, artifact vehicle. Whenever it attacks, you may mill 2 cards. Whenever one or more land cards are put into your graveyard from your library, put them onto the battlefield tapped, crew one, and it's a 5/5.
Yeah, that's nice.
So easy ramp there. And Grave Researcher, 2 and a black. It is from Secrets of Strixhaven. It has a little spell attached on there, and that is Reanimate. So a Troll Warlock 3/3. At the beginning of your upkeep, surveil one, and then if there are 3 or more creature cards in your graveyard, this creature becomes prepared, and then it has Reanimate. Put target creature card from a graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. You lose life equal to its mana value.
Nice.
And yeah, like I said, we have a lot of synergy and stuff going on, but I would like some scarier like reanimate targets. So how about one that is also reanimates? Colossal Grave hyphen Reaver. It is 6 black green creature dragon 7/6 flying. Whenever this creature enters or attacks, mill 3 cards. Whenever one or more creature cards are put into your graveyard from your library, put one of them onto the battlefield.
Oh, dang. Yeah, that's scary.
And I just had something else. Where did I put it? Oh, Pox Walkers, 2 and a black, Death Touch, Zombie 3/1, Curse of the Walking Pox. Whenever you cast a spell from anywhere other than your hand, return Pox Walkers from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. I guess
Yeah.
if we had some aristocrats things going on, we could rely on that to get stuff back constantly. Oh,
Yeah.
here it is. I was looking for Altar of the Wretched, I think. It is a like melding or transforming artifact.
Okay.
2 and a black artifact. When Altar of the Wretched enters the battlefield, you may sacrifice a non-token creature. If you do, draw X cards, then mill X cards, where X is that creature's power. Craft with 1 or more creatures, 2 black, and then 2 and a black. Return Altar of the Wretched from your graveyard to your hand and get it back. And then when you craft it and flip it over, you'll have Wretched Bone Mass, Skeleton Horror, Star. Wretched Bone Mass power and toughness are each equal to the total number of exiled cards used to craft it.
Total
So,
power.
yeah, that's unfortunate. We have to like permanently get rid of something, but there's plenty of options elsewhere. Wretched Bone Mass has flying as long as an exiled card used to craft it has flying. The same is true for First Strike, Double Strike, Death Touch, and so on for keywords.
Nice.
And I was still looking at like big targets before we switched over to me. So maybe I could find more. But
What do you got, Josh? You raised your finger while
Oh,
Keith searches.
no, I had a dumb joke. Going back
Oh,
to Poxwalker.
yeah.
If you want, so if it was released in Thunder Junction, it would have been Poxwalker Texas Ranger.
nice.
Yeah.
And
It's 40K. So
fuck yeah.
I think Chuck Norris played 40K before he died. I'm just kidding. I have no clue.
Probably not.
Keith, what you got?
How about one of the Valgavoths? I know they would go dummy hard. Josh can probably tell us which one.
Terror
Maybe it's a
Eater,
big
probably,
expensive one.
because it's
Yeah,
$15.
that's the
Yeah,
one.
it's
Yeah.
a crazy. Okay, Valgavoth Terror Eater 6 black. Legendary
Black,
creature
black.
9/9 flying lifelink ward. Sacrifice 3 non-lane permanents. If a card you didn't control would be put into an opponent's graveyard from anywhere, exile instead. During your turn, you may play cards exiled with Valgavoth. If you cast a spell this way, play life equal to the mana value rather than pay its mana cost. If you did. So this is what explicitly like a mill card, I guess. I thought it was
Sort of.
more a general reanimate, but not bad.
It's still 99 life link with ward.
Yeah, it's
Sacrifice
still
3
scary.
non-land permanents. No, it's just like
Yeah,
you
it's
cheat
gross.
that
It's
out.
a very gross card.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Sheesh.
I think it could have been just as scary if it was just sacrifice 3 permanents. Like I think sacrificing 3 lands to target it with something is also quite frustrating.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's sticking around.
All right. So that's the end of Gravedigger. Um, Josh, you want to build Maximum Destruction next week?
Yeah, I believe his name's Max D now.
Yeah, Max D. So
Good old Max D.
you DO with that what you want. And then Keith, you'll be up after Josh. So um, you do with yours what you want, and then Sam will be up at the end. Yeah, Keith.
Yeah, I was looking at the bio for whatever mutt's name.
Monster Mutt. Yeah,
Monster Mutt. Yeah, and the driver does another car truck, and it's like a Mecha Godzilla. It looked freaking sick.
yeah. Um, so with these decks, you don't have to build a commander deck. You can build whatever kind of deck you want to build. So it can be modern, it can be pauper, it can be whatever. It can be
Hmm.
Oathbreaker. You can do whatever you want with it. Um, and I'm excited to see what you guys build. So, before we go, I want to say we lost a legend today. We lost Dolly Parton. She has done so much for not only music fans, but she's done so much for kids. Eli being one of those kids, he is part of the Imagination Library. She sends him a book every single month. Um, and without that, there's a lot of kids that wouldn't have that chance to, get books, read, and just have that kind of given to them. And she will be very missed. Just a little bit of a bright light in this world that we needed that kind of went out today. So, bit of a bummer for sure. But yeah, so uh, thank you, Dolly. We'll miss you. And with that, does this episode resolve?
Yep, absolutely resolves.
Yeah,
All
it
right.
resolves.
See you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks for tuning in to this week's episode of Hexproof from Ward. If you liked what you heard, you can continue to listen on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. You can watch us on YouTube. You can give us a follow on Instagram, Facebook, and Blue Sky. We'll see you next week.